Blessed is he who, in the name of charity and goodwill, shepherds the weak through the valley of the darkness. For he is truly his brother's keeper, and the finder of lost children. And I will strike down upon thee with great vengeance and furious anger those who attempt to poison and destroy Thrive Loud with Lou Diamond.
Want to learn from those that are taking their lives, their businesses, and their passions to the next level? Best-selling author of Master the Art of Connecting and professional speaker Lou Diamond is here to connect you to some of the most inspiring and amazing people on the planet. Get ready to thrive loud with Lou Diamond.
Welcome everyone to another spectacular episode of Thrive Loud with Lou Diamond, connecting you to the most inspiring and amazing people that are thriving each and every day. I'm your host, Lou Diamond. Today on Thrive Loud, we have the controlling owner of Blue Green Ventures, American Wholesale Hemp, Hempyre Genetics, and Contractor Labs, along with a lot of other things that he's very much involved with. He is focused on really discovering the secret sesquiterpene complex that will power the future of natural farming called BlueMagic. He envisions a world of ecological sustainability while reducing the carbon and inherent damage to our ecosystem that chemical pesticides and fungicides have caused to this earth. He's got incredible partnerships going on. He's a thought leader. He's also got some incredible stuff, but he is Ryan Early, Thrive Loud listeners, known as Farmer Ryan. Ryan, how are you today?
Great, Lou. Good to be here.
Okay, so I've got so many questions just out of the gamut and the way we're going to bring our listeners up to speed, if you could. I want to rewind a little bit. I don't want to go all the way to the womb. I want to go to the part where this became the focus of what your career and your business is all about.
I guess 2014, 15, I started seeing what natural products, natural alternatives to current medications, et cetera, could do. And it began me looking into the naturopathic side of things, sustainability from farming to all the way to the table.
Yeah. Let's connect that. I want to do this component because obviously people have picked out a lot of utilizing hemp and natural pieces. People go in one direction and people go in another, but you've got the component towards farming. Help our listeners understand a little bit about maybe the bad things that we're utilizing now and how this is actually a better substitute and how you connected the dots here.
So our research program in partnership with Northwestern Oklahoma State University under Hempyre Genetics was founded in 2018 with the forming of the House Bill 2913, which was our industrial hemp pilot program here. That allowed farmers to go out and be able to farm hemp, see if it had viability for decontaminating soil, which we call phytoremediation, to see if it was a viable option for livestock feeds. And of course, CBD is, I think, probably all of America has an idea of what that is now. And one of the very unique things about our program was we specifically set out, growing up here, knowing that hemp was growing wild all over Oklahoma. I wanted to know why, where'd it come from? Because surely all of the Native Americans that were moved here during, of course, the 1800s, brought some with them. As it's been known, they've been growing Native American Indian cannabis for hundreds of years. But it was a bit more than that. It seemed like that this was actually farmed very commercially, just by noting some of the fields that were still in play after however many years. So we began digging. We found that the U.S. government came here early in 1939 to Oklahoma. During a Black Ops mission, they brought cannabis here from all over the world to see if someone had a better strain of fiber for the ship's riggings, for the ropes, or sails. Even the sailors' clothing was made from hemp at that time. Right. And they did. They found two very good species, bred those, sent that to Kentucky and Illinois, and that became what is known as the Hemp for Victory program from 1941 through 1944. After that, of course, it was re-demonized. And, here we are again on the brink of a world war, and hemp could be the answer.
So we'll get to that in a minute. And by the way, you hit something that was so great. Obviously, there was this openness at one point, the demonization of it, which is obviously, even in just the last 5 years, made Olympic strides, not only the legalization of marijuana in certain states, but that's just continuing to populate, which is obviously making the non-THC side of the plant, if you would, be able to be more centered, figure out the right uses for it, and we've made that move. So now I'm going to ask this question. This is more of an opinion. Farmer Ryan, have we made the turn? Have we pushed the demonization to the back? Because there's so many silly things that I believe, we demonize it throughout life, but I just want to get your take from what you see around this. Do eyebrows raise when they hear what you do still? Is that perception still prevalent? Because I know that has changed tremendously over the last several years.
With the legalization and really the 2018 U.S. Industrial Farm Bill, U.S. Farm Bill that legalized industrial hemp fully at a federal level. I think that often gets overlooked with the confusion of the medical marijuana laws federally, and of course with the 30 plus states that now have some form of medical marijuana laws in their state. So the stereotype, I believe, is differentiated of hemp and marijuana, that hemp has other uses and that marijuana is still a bad drug, which I think it's another conversation to have about it.
That's a whole other podcast. Yeah.
But yeah, I believe we're past that point. I think that enough research has came out now through university programs such as Project Hemp for Victory here in Oklahoma to show that hemp holds so much potential for biofuels, for remediation of contaminated soils, and for building materials, which everybody knows is on the rise if you live anywhere in America.
You hinted to this. I want to get to this. So talk a little bit about, we're recording this in early March 2022. There's some really crazy stuff going on in the world, and no one would ever have thought to connect this. I would like to understand how you've gotten this supply chain product into helping people everywhere, specifically those in the most need right now.
So often enough in times of crisis and war, pets get overlooked. People have a lot of resources and a lot of help, but the pets don't so much. And so GEM and Be Strong Foundation has partnered with Farmer Ryan to bring relief to pets in the Ukraine. And we are very excited to get all types of things that they need, from supplies, goods, food, and even American-grown CBD products to help calm them in their obvious time of need.
This is awesome. I guess my question is, how is it getting distributed? And we're talking about, obviously, in the Ukraine right now, there's supplies. How is this getting distributed to them? How do you see through that? Because I think it's an awesome cause, and I'm right behind you on this and applaud these efforts. How do you get to see the execution and the delivery in these times?
So Be Strong and GEM, which is a global empowerment mission, have amazing relationships all over the world. And they're already over there getting relief into the Ukraine. Our first shipment should be going out this coming week for those pets.
Awesome. Great stuff. And kudos to you. Heart goes out to you for what you guys are doing. This is an interesting lane you're in. And I think this is pretty cool because this is obviously the natural farming is a component that has been growing like weeds, if you would. But I'll also comment that it's also picking the right lane and figuring out the best business model around this is a challenging piece. I'd love to hear, and our listeners would too, a little bit about how you kind of figured and chose what's the best avenue to create a business and the ventures that you're behind that make the bottom line green, pun intended.
So during our research project, we found a unique strain of industrial hemp growing wild that produced no CBD or THC, but only certain sesquiterpenes that are a pheromonal replication of what many bugs on many different crops excrete when they die to warn other bugs to go away. That is part of the BlueMagic technology, the repellent and fungicidal properties that it holds. And being able to take these technologies to these farmers, where we're now seeing a massive rise in input costs, fertilizers that were coming out of China that are now seeing massive tariffs. The farmers are really going to start feeling those hits here in the Midwest as planting season is upon us. And I'm hearing it across the board from groups we work with, from soybeans to sorghum to hemp. Even the marijuana farmers that are here in Oklahoma are feeling the struggles and the pinch of what's being put on them through the pesticides and fertilizers that are coming out of Asia and Europe. So American sources that are green, ecologically sustainable, and people and pet friendly are what Farmer Ryan is trying to bring to this market during these times.
Love it. I love it. And I think it's great. And I also think it's really cool. The aspect I was going to hit before I hit you with some signature questions here we do on the show is, would you have ever imagined maybe 10 years ago that this would be what you'd be focused on? And this is where Farmer Ryan would be focused. Does it ever surprise you? Like you wake up and can't believe this is actually what I get to do each day?
Every day I still put my boots on and thank the Lord.
I love it. Listeners need to know, by the way, those looking at the podcast art of this see one dapper Dan dressed up guy. But today, for those who are seeing some of the video feed here, we broke out the baseball caps because we wanted to make this, bring it to the farm. I don't have necessarily the farmer's hat. This is definitely more sports, but he's on brand, shirt, hat, and all, and excited about this. I love asking guests this question, Ryan. Curious to see where this goes. Look, you have picked a passion of yours. You literally got to pinch yourself each day that you're doing this, and you're helping not only farmers, people all across the country, pets all across the country. This is somebody who's thriving each and every day, which is why you're on Thrive Loud. We all have days, though, when we're not quite kicking on all cylinders and we're a little off our game. Farmer Ryan, when you're having trouble thriving, who or what practice do you seek to get yourself back on the thriving track?
I think mental health often gets overlooked in today's society. And so making sure that we're keeping ourselves in a balanced mental state will help promote our physicality throughout the day. So got to be in the right mind for the task at hand, or we're not going to give our 100% best. So mental health, and of course, CBD products by Farmer Ryan help to abate some of the stresses and keep me on track. I have a lot going on in my life, and I've definitely noticed that CBD, and not just CBD, but CBG as well, are legal hemp extracts that just balance the brain and help me get through my day.
I like it. Perfect lead into the plug section here. Do me a favor, Farmer Ryan, share with the listeners all the places people can learn about you, learn about your products, and also how they maybe even be able to help with some of the initiatives you'll be involved. We'll call this the plug section. We'll put it in the show notes, but it always gets more engagement when they hear it from you.
Sure. First off, to donate to pets in the Ukraine, go to farmerryan.com, click the donate now button, and it will very easily walk you through the process to click the box to send products to the Ukraine. Cash donations are at the bottom as well. I got to throw that plug in there, but really we're we need everything they can get over there. Up to 800,000 pets are anticipated to be misplaced during this event, and so euthanization is typically their only option. So rehoming and making sure those pets have the supplies to make it through this time of crisis is what our goal is.
Spectacular. And thank you. We're going to put all the links there. Listeners need to know there'll be a link right on the show notes for this episode. Go click it. We'll also push it when you see the promotion for this episode in social media, which is probably how you got here in the first place. But excellent. And thank you, Farmer Ryan, for what you're doing. Ryan Early, Farmer Ryan, are you ready to go down Fun Street here on Thrive Loud? I think you are. You look
like to have a little fun here.
You like to have a little fun here. Let's just ease into this. Share with the listeners what you shared with me was one of your all-time favorite movies.
Oddly enough, the times we're in, it was Red Dawn.
Okay, now I want to know why that movie connects so much with you. It's a good movie.
I believe it shows the unification of a oppressing force and what Americans are capable of in a time of need.
Nice. I like it. We're going to do the speed round here, Farmer Ryan. This is real easy. I know you can handle it. You're a tough guy. I can see it. He doesn't look, actually, he looks like a tough guy, but he seems to be a softie, which is pretty good. So I think everyone's going to like him. He's kind of warming up like a teddy bear. I'm going to ask you something. I want the first thing that comes to your mind. These are things that lift you up, motivate you, make you feel good, basically make you thrive. And don't worry, because there are no wrong answers, because they're your answers. All right. You ready to rock and roll here?
Let's do it.
Okay. Of late, a song that you love to hear or one that pumps you up?
I don't listen to a lot of music, to be honest with you.
Has there been one a long time ago that you like?
Song on YouTube called Greenhouse by an artist named Be Right.
All right. Very nice. Favorite food that is not a dessert?
Pizza.
Favorite dessert?
Ice cream.
What flavor?
Oh, chocolate.
All right, chocolate. You like a chocolate? And I didn't want to get this. Let's go pizza specific here. Is there a certain type of pizza you like? Because I know you're from Oklahoma. Is there like a certain style, or you just take any pizza?
Pineapple and jalapeno from Eagle One.
Oh, there you go. All right. Then we got a plug in here too. An activity you wish you did more of?
Relax.
An activity you wish you did less of?
No, I pretty well like what I do.
See, I love that. I love guys who are all focused. Although if they turned around and said not stress so much, I would say, well, you can't do that. You can't say relax and the stress much. If I were to snap my fingers, Farmer Ryan, and you can be anywhere in the world.
Back at Catalina Island catching calico bass.
Oh man, have you done that before? I imagine so.
Absolutely.
Last question here, maybe more of a message. I love entrepreneurs who, in the times of crises, mobilize into helping other people. Aside from obviously giving and contributing, how can you help give maybe a little bit of a message about the importance of these things to others when you decide to elevate? Because I bet you once you saw something, you said, I want to help, I want to do this. There's got to be something in you. What could you recommend to others when they want to think about doing something great that they can step up and go to the plate to do?
Don't be afraid to reach out. If you want to change something, start at a local level, work with legislators, change the law. Anybody can do it. I did it.
See how easy this was? See, this is why we like Farmer Ryan. Straight to the point, hits all his buttons, nails all the points, really be brief, be bright, be gone. That's what we do on this show. So we like that. We love that, man.
Yes, sir.
Ryan, thank you for coming on the program. Continue doing what you're doing. We'll give all the support, and thank you for your support, what you're doing with everything.
Thank you, Lou, and thank you to all your supporters.
You got it. And to all our listeners out there, keep moving onward and upward, and remember, be brief, be bright, be gone.
You've been listening to Thrive Loud with your host, Lou Diamond. Check us out on the web at thriveloud.com and follow us on Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, and Facebook at Thrive Loud. And check us out on the Good Pods app at Thrive Loud, where you can follow, listen, and connect directly to Lou and all of the Thrive Loud episodes. Thanks for listening.